Like many of you, I've researched the heck out of how to monetize my art, and out of about 30 of the solutions that I found, I think about 9 of them sound fun. You don't have to abide by anyone's demands or deadlines, but there's a lot less stability. But if you can find a flow doing it on your own, then there's absolutely no cap in terms of money. You don't have to ask for a raise, you can just try to work harder to get it, which is obviously a lot simpler said than done. So why am I making this video? Because I've done most of the things I'll be talking about as a skateboarder. I figured out how to monetize that art, and I felt like a lot of the things I looked up weren't very clear, so today's video is about me trying to clear up in the best way possible and explain how you can make a living doing these artistic ventures. One of the strongest ways you can monetize your art is to start a YouTube channel, and obviously I could create a very long video about how to do this, so if there's anything you want me to clear up in this video as we go through these tips, let me know in the comments down below. If you start building up your audience via your YouTube channel, then you'll have an audience to sell to, but you'll also have an advertising force, people who can vouch for you and talk about you and spread the word of your glorious YouTube videos. Here's the shortest tip about making a YouTube channel that I actually feel like is very effective in trying to get your channel started. Find a creator that is outside of your niche and use his tactics to make the videos that you want to make. If you find another artist and you want to be an artist YouTuber and you use their tactics, then everybody's just going to see you as a carbon copy who just isn't as good as this other person that they could watch instead. So let's take a random example, like Graham Stephan. He's a YouTuber who's all about finance, but he's growing right now. He understands the algorithm, he understands which titles are doing well. So if you take his newest video that says, stop buying homes, maybe you can do a video called Stop Buying Posca Pins. You can just kind of use the titles, the tactics, the thumbnail ideas, and apply it to your channel, and you're not actually stepping on anyone's toes. Also, you don't have to do this, but I like trying to set goals just to kind of have a North Star to head towards. So for me, when I'm making these art videos on YouTube, since I'm new to it, if I make 5 videos in a row that get 50,000 views, then I will be happy. Like, I will feel like I have succeeded, at least in the mission of being a YouTuber with art. And I've even made these special badges to go along that I can collect once I accomplish the goals, but for now, it's just it's not there. Number 2 is freelance/commissions. The easiest way to get started with this is probably just to start a Fiverr page. A lot of people go there to look for work like this. It's a very popular website, and it's also a really good way for you to start building your portfolio. This one's kind of like working for other people, but you can turn down any offer, so it's still really in your hands what you do and don't do. My goal for this is to build a portfolio 30 days out from today. You should probably come a little bit closer. And the reason I'm telling you my goals is because I do want to go on this journey together. I think a lot of people out there are probably in the same position as me right now, where you're kind of starting close to the start of trying to monetize your art. So this feels fun to kind of like, I'll set my objectives, and maybe you, or in the comments or to yourself, can just kind of write down your goals, and we can just try to like work through this together, because that's what my videos are about now. So I feel like I just want to be like a dude who motivates you, and vice versa. So not only do I want to build a portfolio, but I would love to work with someone I'm a big fan of, someone on YouTube who I can kind of create something for that they'll be interested in, and I'm not even looking for money there. Not that you should not ask for money, but for me, I understand the value of just like getting a shout out or being noticed by someone on YouTube who, you know, I'm a big fan of. So obviously you don't have to follow that tactic. That's one of my goals. I think that'd be so cool. Number 3 is Patreon. Not by any measure is Patreon a get rich quick scheme. Think about it. If there's Netflix that offers $9 a month, Disney Plus is like $8 a month, Hulu is like $6 a month, then what can you offer that they can't really get in other places? Why would they pay you instead of just watching your free content? Obviously, some people are just gonna like you and they wanna support you in any way they can, and a Patreon is a good way to do it, but there's overcharging brands, and then there's overcharging your audience. Now, these are the people who choose to support you, and I feel like that's a bit slimier, and it's very easy to be vilified if you're just overcharging basically for nothing. Unless you're actually creating something that takes a lot of extra time for you and that, you know, the audience wants. For example, a lot of artists will actually create R-rated content of the stuff they draw on Instagram, and that's a pretty easy way to get people to want to pay to see those. So yeah, if you're willing to kind of step into that territory, then so be it. Now, I'm not gonna start a Patreon until I have the perfect idea, but I do plan on trying to do it, and my goal is to have 1,000 patrons. That would just be really cool. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, dude, haven't you already done these things? You have almost 1 million subscribers, and I've seen you start a Patreon in the past, and well, okay, so yes and no. Skateboarding has really been the only thing I've ever talked about on my YouTube channel for the last 5 years or so, and I've made 1,500 videos about it, and honestly, it feels a little capped. It's like an industry or a subgenre that's one 100th the size of the world of illustration and art, so I really just wanted a higher ceiling to play in. Plus, to be honest, recently I've enjoyed drawing and writing more than skating. Still love skating, but just, you know, just a little more. So my second channel will be all of my skateboarding, but number 4 is sponsorships. Sponsorships is difficult. I hate when people say it all casually, like, it's easy, you just get people to pay you for your content. No, it's not near that simple. Sponsorships is a little tough to talk about because there's so much to it, but ideally there's 2 things they're looking for. One is just views and clout. If you're someone who gets a lot of attention, sponsors are gonna come, period. But they might be willing to sponsor someone who's a little smaller if the content is very aesthetic and pretty and can represent their brand well. But the problem with that is if you go out there trying to create the content that brands will like, you might miss your authentic content that you would have came up with, not trying to chase the brand or the bag or whatever. And something that'll make it a little easier maybe is if you actually diversify your content. So if you make a YouTube video that's 10 minutes long, try to break down that video in ways that actually work on other platforms. So maybe use the same video on Twitter, Facebook, I guess, Instagram, TikTok, because those are just popular right now. And a lot of brands are willing to pay for different places, or they're willing to pay a bigger price if you are willing to diversify your content on all platforms talking about their brand. So again, this video isn't long enough for me to go through all the things I know about this kind of stuff, so if you want to know more, ask me down below. But I will say that I have been editing for a long time, so it's really easy for me to kind of break up videos and cut them apart. At the beginning, it will be a lot more difficult, it'll be a lot more frustrating, especially if it takes you a long time to make a YouTube video. So try to figure out what you're trying to do and how much work you're willing to put in. Number 5 is a podcast, which can be very difficult. Yet again, I'm gonna not lie, all of these are pretty hard, but I've tried this before, and you really do need to find a niche, and you need to kind of figure out how you can be the king of the niche. There should be something that kind of stands out, and if you're new to hearing your voice and making content, then I think it's really good practice because you don't have to show your face, and you can get used to listening to yourself. But if you are new to that, you might not sound as good as someone who is more experienced in talking about these kind of things. So it's definitely a great place to start, I feel like. So just try doing a podcast regardless. Get used to hearing your own voice. My goal is to have a podcast that has 1,000 5-star reviews, which is actually a really big goal. So just setting it high. Now, number 6 is merch. I absolutely love merch. My closet is full of YouTubers I watch and then just random anime merch. I love it. I'll link a video down below about the actual process of getting merch made, but when it comes to the design, I would recommend actually putting something that most people can understand, even if they don't technically like it. So if you just put something like your name or a picture of your face, you might be able to appeal to just your immediate audience, but try to have something more universal. That's why I use Progress Daily instead of John Hill, because anyone can see that and be like, oh, I get it. And my goal is to do a launch and then have 1,000 pieces of merch sell within 24 hours, that's heavy. But, it's a goal. Number 7 is galleries. This might seem a little far-fetched for you, but it's really not. You can just set up an art show kind of in a public park like this if you really wanted to, or you can go to a skate shop, which is where I've done it in the past or been to them in the past. I've actually never thrown a art show, but that's, obviously something I would love to do. You want to say the rest for me, or? The money can come from admissions, which John probably wouldn't do. You'd probably just put prices on the actual art. What he said, yeah, I probably wouldn't charge a lot for the actual paintings, but I'd probably make the money from that. I think admission is kind of silly just because I want everybody who wants to go to be able to go. And my goal for the future is to, in one night, make like $10,000 from the art. So I'd obviously have to have a lot of art, and you can also sell merch at these things too, but I'd most likely just send it to a charity or something like, cakes. Is that a charity? I don't know. My camera's about to die. Fuck. Number 8 is affiliate links, the king of passive income. I don't know many creators who make a ton of money off of this, but anyone can go on Amazon and sign up for the affiliate program. And if you link anything in your description down below and somebody uses your link to buy something on Amazon, you get a very small kickback for that. So obviously, the more expensive of an item you sell, the more money you make. So people who do sell things like cameras, or they make videos about things like that, will make probably more money than you if you're trying to sell like a pen that you like to use, but it's still fun and passive and cool. So just in case your video does go viral, it might be good to find that affiliate link for whatever you're talking about, no matter how small, and put it in your description below, and it could probably accumulate to a lot, especially if you're making a lot of videos. So my goal is in 1 month to make $2,000 from affiliate links. Don't know if that's gonna happen, but that's my goal. Number 9, and the one that seems most fun to me, is conventions slash panels. I love going to conventions. I went to one recently and it was honestly just incredible. Had a really good time, but I would love to be able to set up a booth at one of them and sell art. But my goal for all this is to be an invited guest. And a lot of these panels will actually pay you to go on there, or random panels for certain conventions will pay you to kind of be a part of it, or people will pay you to represent their brand at conventions, whatever. That just seems like the most fun thing for me. So I will be working diligently to make that happen, which is also why I'm putting everything into the art basket. Again, we are going on this adventure together. I am in no way the best artist, but I am someone who's getting better a lot faster. I think a lot of people underestimate how quickly you can get good at something if you're passionate about it, and if you put in focused hours of work tediously into something that you want to get better at. And these are the 9 badges that I believe this kind of work ethic and tedious effort will hopefully allow me to accomplish. Of course, with an open mind and some empathy, I think I can grow to accomplish these. But I also thought, how cool would it be in the future if I had some kind of like artist league or something to where I could actually have badges for other people who wanted to be a part of this, and like grow, especially via social media, and like give them badges for like certain steps along their way. I just feel like that's like a really cool, fun idea, kind of like gamifying the world just a bit more. But I did write something here that I wanted to close off this video with. One last little paragraph that says, YouTube has taught me that each of us really do have the power to create whatever future for ourselves we want. There are so many fun worlds left to explore, and the world of art is limitless. Today, I'm stepping onto Art Island for the first time, and I can't wait to see what's ahead.